Welcome to the latest edition of B-Bop Records' latest arrivals of LPs. We are in December 12, 2022, and we have some reggae and all other genres for you. Here's the reggae first. Hortense Ellis and Derek Morgan, very rare album called Still in Love. And Marcia Griffith, it's an import. Also a very rare album, and that one is called Naturally. And classic band Culture with International Herb, great album. And this is their killer one right here, 2/7 Clash. This is the original pressing, import, and believe it or not, this one, folks, is signed by Joseph Hill, the leader, as well as Albert Walker and Kenneth Days, the three lead singers that you see pictured, silhouetted here. These reggae albums were acquired from a reggae promoter, so know that they're legit. And B-Bop Records sells nothing but legit albums. Great condition, this one. Great soundtrack of The Harder They Come, Bob Marley's Catch a Fire. And now getting into some gospel. This is some pretty rare gospel, funk, and R&B. St. Paul AME, Zion Church out of Toledo, Ohio. Still sealed record. There we go. Documenting the local Toledo scene. And David Yale. This is a 12-inch single from the 80s. Caravan. This is a Canterbury scene, progressive rock, melodic. And a rare one here. This band didn't make too many records. Von LMO. And it's called Future Language. It's still sealed, by the way. Severed Heads. Punk now, and post-punk contortions from New York City, some hardcore, fugitive poetry, and the Gun Club, their first ever album, a really rare find. This is, and an original Ruby Records, The Jam in the City. Out of Detroit, the Laughing Hyenas with Toledo's own Todd Swalla on drums. More punk with the Neo Boys. And some new wave from France. The 77s. And more hardcore. State with their album False Power. And really rare punk with the Wipers on clear vinyl. This is on Park Avenue Records. Is This Real is the name of the records, and that's on clear vinyl. Another punk compilation. You can get to see who's on it here. And another punk compilation on Warner Brothers this time. This is a double album. And then some hip-hop. Ja Rule, Wycliffe Jean, and Will Smith. These are all double LPs. The Beastie Boys is a single album, of course. This is their classic. And some R&B and funk from the 70s. And some poetry. From New York City. Diana Ross, great album. And this is a great rare find. The Scott High School Jazz Ensemble from 1972. This is, never seen that one before, so that's very rare. And a double Atlantic Records R&B sampler. And some jazz now. Double album, The Atlantic Years of John Coltrane. And this is one of John's last recordings Interstellar Space with Rashid Ali on drums, just him on sax and him on drums. And this is his classic, of course, Love Supreme on Impulse. And now some blues with the roots of Robert Johnson on Yahoo Records. And the first album, US, by the way, in the US by the Beatles. This is an Apple label issue from the late 60s. And Jeff Beck with Jan Hammer. John Cale, ex-Velvet Underground, one of his solo albums. Leonard Cohen, Best Of with Insert. Great copy of Dexy's Midnight Runners. The Flying Burrito Brothers, another one of those. And the House Martins. And a great psychedelic rare find by J.K. and Company. Suddenly One Summer. This album was put out by a 15-year-old boy who was tripping on acid when he recorded it. And boy, it sounds like it too. And a King's classic, Muswell Hillbillies, Motorhead, Iron Fist, and then some Pink Floyd. This is Obscured by the Clouds. These are US pressings, Relics, and Wish You Were Here. Great copy. And Animals with the original lyrics inner sleeve. And then Santana. This is a pristine. Saw them at the sports arena during that tour. And this is a 3 LP set with a multi-page booklet called Viva Santana. A lot of rare tracks. And then one of Uriah Heep's first albums, I think it's their first, called Very Heavy and Very Humble. And last but not least, original pressing of the Velvet Underground self-titled one, their third album, the one right after John Cale left and Doug Yule joined the band. A great record. Well, that does it for our latest arrivals at B-Bop Records. Have a wonderful holiday season and check us out on Discogs.